Prophesy then tells Alice to treasure the relationship that she has with Merlin, as even though Merlin is an iron rank adventurer, he showed enough conviction beyond the higher ranks. After a while, they reach the waterfall, and Merlin tell her to try manifesting her aura. Alice checked her aura and said that the power of the dragon race is incredible. But Merlin taunts her and said that this is nowhere near their power, and once she fully absorbs the crystal, her power will be several times stronger than this. Alice then confidently said that in just some time, she will surpass him. She then attacked Merlin with her newly acquired dragon powers. But in just some seconds, she understood that the reality is so harsh. While returning, Merlin tell her to focus on clearing the debts, as it is more realistic than defeating him. Suddenly, they are stopped by the different shop owners at the market, who thanked Alice for always helping them. And as they were going back to their home, they were stopped by the landlady. She smiled and said that they are looking like they have been married for years. Merlin thought that he would never marry a washboard like Alice, while Alice was thinking that she would never marry a perverted demon like Merlin. The landlady said that she misses her husband and tell them to be a little more intimate around her, and if they agree to do it, then she will think of having their rent. Merlin and Alice quickly get close and ask her how they look. This make the landlady happy as she thanked them for bringing back her pleasant memories. After a while, Alice was angry because Merlin suggested to be a little more intimate around the landlady to reduce their rent. She then starts preparing for dinner, but after looking at her, Merlin decides to teach her how to chop vegetables. Shirley looked at them and muttered, how could they deny that they are a married couple? The next day, Merlin was reading the news of the copper field and thought that he really is an unlucky guy. As with an infernal army like that, he could have conquered any kingdom he desired. He was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. He then noticed Alice looking at a broadcast from the capital. The knight who survived was telling the people that it was the Elgin master swordsman who defeated the infernal demon. He added that the reason Copperfield lost his sanity was due to the overwhelming power of the Elgin's master swordsman. Therefore, he is the true hero. The people start cheering for the swordsman. Alice thought that the people mistook Merlin for the sword master of Elgin, as they look a little similar. While Merlin was depressed, as a previous demon king is now the savior of mankind. Suddenly, the knight was kicked by someone. It was his captain Franklin, who said that they had a chance to make a name for themselves, but he has gone and squandered it. He then took out his sword and attempted to kill the knight, but suddenly a giant eagle appeared in the sky. The eagle landed and a red-haired woman came forward. The knight Chapman quickly bowed and addressed her as Lady Macefield. Franklin said that Chapman went against the orders, so they must punish him. But to his surprise, Macefield slapped him. She asked him if he's trying to drag their queen's name through the mud. Franklin explained that the fame of this swordsman is increasing so much that it's threatening their existence, so they should punish Chapman for helping him as he's a traitor. But Macefield said that it's only thanks to Chapman that they have not lost their honor as knights. And the one who needs to be punished is Franklin, as he tried to claim the work of others and lied to the public. Franklin tried to defend himself, but Macefield tell him to go away, as she will report this incident to Her Majesty herself. She then went close to Chapman and asked if he's alright. She then apologized to the public for the disturbance caused by Franklin, and also showed her gratitude toward the Elgin's master swordsman. But she added that someone who is afraid of making his identity public can't be trusted. She then announced that the Elgin's master swordsman is a wanted criminal, and she will apprehend him on behalf of Great Britain and its citizens. To which Merlin just smiled and thought he would like to see her try. Suddenly, the broadcast device stopped working, and while Alice was trying to fix the device, Hobbs tells Merlin that he's in danger. He said that according to Luja, Alice likes this swordsman, so he's in danger of being cuckolded. Alice went close to them and asked what they are talking about. To which Merlin replied that he's just telling Hobbs about how she kicked him off the bed this morning. Alice shouted, that's because Merlin snuck into her bed in the middle of the night. This conversation was heard by Arnold, as he ran away and said he will never fall in love again. Alice said that she promised to cook for Shirley today, and asked Merlin to look for a suitable job for them. Hobbs asked about Shirley, but Merlin ignored the question, and bribed him to tell him about any jobs around Lydney. Hobbs said that Lydney is home to many strong adventurers, so they usually handle everything themselves. But there was a quest worth 100,000 not long ago. This shocked Merlin, and he asked if the quest is still available. but Hobbs replied that he's out of luck as a 14-year-old mithril adventurer took it. Hobbs said that the adventurer name is Johnson, and he has the ability to copy any spell he sees. And the scariest thing is that there is no time limit for how long he can keep a copied spell, and once he increases his collection, then he will be invincible. Suddenly, Helena entered the guild and greeted Hobbs and Merlin. She then asked Hobbs if she could borrow Merlin for a little while, and while Merlin was leaving with her, Hobbs muttered that even though he's married, he's still hungry for more. On the way, Merlin asked Helena why Asmodeus wants to meet him. Helena said that she's not sure, but if she had to guess, then it's because of Merlin's secret plan is not going well. Merlin then tells her to not talk about this plan to anyone, but in reality, he was sorry for fooling her. After a while, Merlin reached the place and asked Asmodeus about the matter. Asmodeus said that recently he has been chased around by a passionate human fan. And the problem is that human uses alchemy to alter the human body and produce monsters known as alchemy beasts. It's a mutated life form that is only capable of basic attacks. However, his followers told him that they can feel a greater power within them. So he tried to talk to the alchemist, but in return for giving him his alchemy beasts, he wants to marry him. Merlin said that if he hates the idea that much, then he should just refuse the alchemist. But Asmodeus explained that his fourth demon king's palace is closest to the church, and is under constant threat, so he needs to increase his military strength. But Merlin tells him to not worry, as if something happens, he will come and help him. After a while, Merlin was going back to his home, thinking he didn't find any jobs. He reached home and noticed Alice talking to someone. Merlin looked at the woman and asked who is she. Cecilia then introduced herself, and Merlin remembered her from the skeleton incident. Angered by Merlin's behavior, Kyle insulted Merlin, but Cecilia ordered him to stop insulting Merlin, as he's their savior. After talking for a while, Merlin understands that Cecilia wants him to accompany her to an island in Dover Strait to defeat the evil alchemist. She explained that she wants to clear up her past failures within her family, and Merlin is the only one who can help her. She added that she is ready to provide suitable compensation for his services. Merlin smiled and asked if she's thinking of using her body as payment again. Alice quickly grabbed Merlin's collar and said that even though the marriage between them is fake, but still, he should learn to control himself. Shirley was listening to all this and decided to not get involved, so she went and hid upstairs. Merlin's words angered Kyle as he dashed toward Merlin to kill him. But with just a little tap of a spoon, Kyle goes flying and collided into the wall. Cecilia apologized to Merlin for Kyle's behavior, but Merlin tells her to talk about the reward, as he's not interested in anything else. Cecilia said she thought that Lord Merlin is someone who is above petty things, but he's just as greedy as everyone else for money. But still, she offered 300,000 gold coins to Merlin. Merlin quickly agreed to help, but Alice stopped him, as he already promised to take Shirley back to her home that is in Lydney. Merlin thought that getting Shirley home will give them 1 million gold coins, so he refused Cecilia's request, and tell her to come back later. But Cecilia said that they will be passing Lydney on their way, so his friend can join them. Merlin quickly accepted her offer, as it will also save their transportation fees. The next day, the group left in the carriage. Cecilia explained that they need to defeat an alchemist, who mutated the fish around a village and caused a crisis. Merlin said that according to him, an adventurer named Johnson has already left for the Kent village. This shocked Alice and Cecilia, as Johnson is known as the genius magician of Ireland. At the same time, in Lydney, an elf woman named Samuel was bowing in front of a mirror and said that they are one step closer to their mission. The elf named Ashdal, who was sealed in the mirror, laughed and said that it will be a beautiful scene when they will sacrifice the entire population of Lydney. But Samuel interrupted and said that they will need an elf of royal blood so they can activate the spell. Ashdal knew that the elf king closely guards his children, so their only option is to find his lost daughter, who went missing half a year ago. Samuel then confidently replied that she will bring Princess Shirley to him at all costs. Meanwhile, Shirley was happy, as she will be reaching Lydney tomorrow. The next day, Merlin and his group arrived at the city of Lydney. Merlin was thinking that it's a little suspicious, as on this trip, nothing has occurred. Cecilia then asked Merlin what he thinks about Lydney. Merlin replied that there are so many people, so of course it's annoying. Cecilia said that it is a large city, and there are many places of entertainment like bars, baths, and gambling. But before Merlin could go for the gambling, he's stopped by Alice, who forbids him from going there. And as Merlin and Alice were quarreling about the money, Cecilia asked, why are they dividing their wealth as they are married? And before Merlin could say that they are not married, Alice stopped him from doing so and changed the topic. Cecilia looked outside and said, it's the College of the Goddess. Merlin noticed a stone sculpture in front of the college, and thinks that she looks familiar. And while Merlin was insulting the goddess, Kyle advised him to stop, as the goddess followers might take offense. Kyle added that this college is Cecilia's alma mater, so he requested Merlin to mind his language. Alice then asked Cecilia, that as a student of this college, what are her daily duties? Cecilia excitedly said that they study holy magic and how to purge demons. As demons are evil, so all followers must learn how to purge them. She added that it is in preparation for the holy war. Merlin then understood the reason why Asmodeus wanted to increase his military strength. He realized that the church is planning to launch an all-out war on the demon race. After a while, Merlin and Alice take Shirley to the embassy. The guards tried to stop them, as only authorized personnel are allowed in the embassy. Merlin then pointed towards Shirley and said that they are there to return a lost elf. And as soon as Shirley showed her face, the guards bowed and addressed her as Princess Shirley. This shocked Merlin and Alice, as they didn't know that Shirley was a princess. After a while, Merlin was thinking that 1 million gold coins seemed so cheap now. He then suggested Alice to ask for 100 million gold coins from Shirley's father, as he's the king. Suddenly, the same woman from before, Samuel, entered the room, and Shirley greeted her, as the woman is her aunt. After some time, Samuel thanked Alice and Merlin for returning Shirley, but in reality, she was thinking of killing them as well. Shirley then tells them that out of 9 races, her father is the strongest. And while Merlin was thinking of killing Shirley's father to extend his life, he was interrupted by Samuel. She said that according to her, Shirley's uncle, His Highness Ashdal, ruler of the Dark Elves, is the strongest. Shirley tried to stop Samuel, as taking Ashdal's name is a taboo. She explained that in the past, he refused to aid her father in establishing the United Kingdom, and even led the Dark Elves in rebellions. But her father managed to overpower him and put down his plots. Merlin asked if Ashdal was the strongest, then why was the Elven King able to defeat him? To which Samuel answered that the king ambushed him and killed his own little brother. Merlin was excited to know that this Ashdal was so strong that they had to resort to surprise attacks to kill him. Samuel added that Ashdal was a genius who could channel the power of the god. If he was still alive, then he might have been a living god. After a while, Alice was sad as she's missing Shirley already. But Merlin tells her to be happy as he is there for her. She then asked Merlin if he doesn't miss his little sister. But Merlin refused and said that he's super happy as she was even worse than Alice. He added that she beheaded all women who approached him and used their bones to make wine cups. Merlin said that he has been surrounded by problematic children for so long that he lost all interest in love. He then tell Alice that according to him, Samuel was a little biased towards the Dark Elf King, as even though his name was taboo, yet she used it freely. Merlin then noticed a ruckus on the street, so he went to check it. A man tells him that a guy is accepting arm wrestling challenges, and if you win, he's giving 2,000 gold rewards. But no one has succeeded till now. Alice said that the man is hiding his strength by suppressing his aura. The man then announced that as there is no one strong in Lydney, so he is taking his leave. But before he could leave, Merlin stopped him and challenged him. Alice tried to stop Merlin, but Merlin tell her to bet on him, and they could make easy money when he win. Alice thought this and quickly wished Merlin best of luck, as she's going to make a lot of money. And so, the arm wrestle match between Merlin and the suspicious guy begins. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget